Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Jackson and I am going to be talking about Genesis chapter 1, the creation in the Bible. Sorry, I'm trying to get this set up. So starting off with obviously the first verse, it says, "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth." And so what that's basically saying is God obviously started life, right? And I feel like one thing that a lot of us, as secular as this world is that we tend to drift away from knowing that, and we come up with different ideas of why, because it's kind of hard to really understand that God is who created the heavens and the earth that we walk on today. But with that, that's on day one. I'm going to start with day one and go to all of them. But day one, God also said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And that being said, he also said that that he separated the void and the darkness, and he just told him, "Go away," and then went right away. And I feel like that sometimes we can be in the void, if that makes sense. Like with hard situations that we go through, like like losing someone to death or getting sometimes broken up with. I mean, some of those are really sometimes like hard to get through, especially losing someone really close to you. And I feel like that we tend to act like it seems like everything's closing in on us, like we're in a void. And honestly, my point with this is that like it's kind of like doesn't really say that necessarily is, but I feel like God says that like it's kind of like us in a way by he can pull us out like that if we like find him and come to him and ask him to guide us out. He can guide us out like that. Tell to go right away, and it will go right away. And so I don't take too long. I'm just going to go on, and the next thing that I have is day two, because after day one he said everything was good, and he just next day happened, and God said he said, "Let there be separation from the waters and the earth," and to this from where he was. So he created heaven. And heaven is where I hope to be one day. I know it will be one day, but I hope that you guys also do. So God said, "Let there be heaven," and there was heaven. Day three, God created the land. All this surface and area that we walk on, like all the land, he created it. I mean, it was all combined at one point, and then it separated. But still, he created it, and he created it for us to walk on. But at this point, we're not created. And which is really cool that he set this all up for us to walk on. On day 4, day 3 as well, God created the plants, the vegetation, fruits, vegetables, all that food source, because God always has things planned out, God just straight up is like, okay, I'm going to do this, no hesitation, no nothing, which is why through all these days it feels like, he's setting this all up for us to have a perfect life, and later on, as we'll find out in the series of Genesis that I want to do, we don't tend to follow those, soon after, but that'll be in another video later on, in the near future actually. Anyway, day 4, it says God created the seasons, like fall, winter. He created all those, he created the day, the year, he created all the time, he created everything that happened to do with like a date or anything. He was like, that's what's gonna happen. 24 hours, it's just exactly what it is. 24 hours. It wasn't like he was like, should I do 24 hours or should I do like 23? No, he said, I want to do 24, and he automatically did it. Like I said, God does not hesitate with his plans. He always follows through, and that's one of the amazing things about him, is that he really just like follows everything through. Because me personally, nah, I don't. I tend to drift off from that and like try to kind of like doubt myself sometimes, which I feel like a lot of us do. But that'll be talked up in a later video, of self-doubt. And in day 5, it says God created the animals, land and sea animals, birds, all kinds. He created all of them. And at this moment in time, you know, everything was peaceful. He loved it all. And then the next day, on day 7, he thought to himself, he was like, what if I created things, humans, something in my own image? Because I really want to. And so what did he do? He created us. Which a lot of people obviously think that God didn't create us, which I feel like is really sad. And goes into one of my questions I have. Is, do we tend to forget that as a society that God created us? And I feel like honestly we do, but that's because we've been told many different theories and stuff, and a lot of times in this new life and generation stuff, we're basically told that God doesn't exist and he's not really there. But God did create everything. He created all. He created us, and on the final day, which I'm about to get to, he rested. He saw all was good and he rested, which is the Sabbath day. If no one knew, it's the Sabbath day, which people celebrate on a Sunday. Some people celebrate on a Saturday. But God rested on that day. And my point being is, I know that a lot of society says that, God did not create us, we were created by other stuff, but coming from me, trust me, I have full faith that he did create us and that he still loves us. But I just wanted to talk about all this, and what did we learn? Well, we learned that God is faithful, God is true, God is our Father, God created us perfectly, and that we are sometimes let ourselves get sucked into a void, that if we trust God, right out, he'll get us right out. It might not seem like it's right out, but God is working with us and he's getting us through that. No matter what problems you are facing, he is getting you through it. Just lean on him, trust him, and wait on his timing. His timing is always perfect. And I hope you all have a blessed day, and I'll see you in the next video.